Hi everyone, this is Jose for On Tour, taking the long route on this beautiful day. Let's take a journey to where the locals call the Forgotten Borough of New York City. Join me as we explore the distinctive Staten Island. So let's write a story about Staten Island. Staten Island. They call it the Forgotten Borough. The remnants of the island's history are scattered all throughout. Staten Island is as iconic as the other boroughs. It just makes it that much more intriguing. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about Staten Island. So the adventure just makes it more interesting. And I guess it makes it more exciting to find out more about Staten Island. My tour of Staten Island starts with the Verrazano Bridge. No matter where you travel on the North Shore, the bridge towers over the city, like the Empire State Building. Verrazano is the tallest bridge in all of New York. It's also the longest suspension bridge in all of the United States, and the heaviest in the world, coming in around 1.2 million tons. Right beneath the bridge is Fort Wadsworth, a military compound dating back to 1663. And it's seen its fair share of war, from the Revolutionary War to World War II. The compound was decommissioned and turned into a military school from 1952 to 1955. Now it simply acts as a landmark with guided tours. The fort has mysterious paths where you see early walkers and joggers. Climb some of its steps and you get a grand view of the surrounding cities. The Verrazano Bridge was constructed with enough height for cruise and container ships to travel below it, crossing the narrow channels to the New York and New Jersey shores.
It's beach season all year round. You just gotta find where it's warm.
And warmer than normal on this autumn day. The beach and boardwalk are filled with people enjoying the wonderful weather. And the grand view of the Verrazano as it stands iconic to the borough, stretching across to what once seemed like a distant land, now only a short ride away.
Always remember, what happens in life is temporary, but Wu-Tang is forever. So you can't go to New York City without buying bagels. We talk about the pizza, the great foods, but we always gotta bring up bagels.
It's crazy to think the last time I took the Staten Island Ferry, I was in grade school. If you're looking for a view of New York City, this is the absolute best view of New York City. When you plan a trip to New York City, there's always a textbook guide of places and things to go see. And in that textbook, there's always transportation. I mean, New York City has a symbolic subway system that's been imitated everywhere else. And then we talk about New York City cabs. It is the official image of cabs worldwide. But one of New York's oldest form of transportation is water, and thus comes the Staten Island Ferry. The residents of Staten Island use the ferry to commute to other boroughs. From St. George to Whitehall Terminal in Manhattan, you get a breathtaking view of how active the New York waters are.
Statue of Liberty, the land of freedom.
On this travel, you see parts of Brooklyn, parts of Manhattan, and Jersey City as you go right by the Statue of Liberty. This is the New York City of the movies. The ferry has been around for decades, getting facelifts to keep up with the trends of the time. But it keeps its iconic look and that Staten Island font to remain modest. With that distinctive color, the ferry can be spotted anywhere. And that was the idea, a bright color of orange in case of heavy fog and snow to be easily spotted. This route was a hobby for Cornelius Vanderbilt, and along with his brother-in-law, they built the lasting form of travel for the city. The ferry is one of the icons that make up the postcards of New York City. September 11 was something that impacted the whole world, and was the first time I saw New York City down on its knees. Postcards is another memorial in the same fashion as the One World Trade Center. On its walls are the names of the Staten Island residents who lost their lives that day in the event of the attacks. Its center points directly at Ground Zero, and the postcards, they shaped the void of where the towers once stood. The memorial of these victims has face silhouettes, looking towards Ground Zero. Those are moments in life you never forget, and I think everybody has a story to tell from that day. My initial reaction to this memorial was sadness, and I knelt in honor for the many victims who woke up that day with their regular routines, not knowing it was going to be their last.
So something that's different from the other boroughs, there's a lot of greenery in Staten Island. It makes it that much more unique. So many parks, so many outdoor areas. They even have the highest hill in the entire eastern seaboard. I'm a little tired going up these steps, but the highest hill in the entire eastern seaboard. That means from Maine all the way down to Florida.
What an exploration. Thank you guys for joining me on this trip. Staten Island, so unique and mystic. This is the first time I really toured the borough, and I feel like I've only scratched the surface. So many stories outside of the hustle and bustle that is New York City. This is Jose for On Tour. If you like what you've seen today, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share. If you want to know more about the places I've been to, please see the links below for more info. Until next time.